Good morning, everybody, on this Wednesday morning, March 27th, 2024, here in northern New Jersey. A gloomy day right now, and it's relatively a little on the warm side. Temperature up, but it is a gloomy day. How is everybody doing this morning? Everybody doing good? Some current events that I want to cover and go into real quickly. Of course, now and by now, everybody's heard about the tragedy that's happened in Delaware. It's funny because one of the guys that I work with, he's Brazilian and his family's over in Brazil. So I was saying to him yesterday, I was saying to him, did you hear about the bridge collapse? And he said, yeah, my wife called me from Brazil. She saw it on the TV up in Brazil. So, this is like televised all over the world. I said, wow. I said, that's amazing how the news gets around. But it's really a shame what happened to those construction workers who were on the bridge that probably never even knew it hit them, and the cars that went into the water. Just a terrible, terrible tragedy. It really is a loss of life. Hello, Bella. Good morning. How are you? It's been a long time since I saw you. Carol, how are you? Good morning, hon. Carol, my name is spelled Ralph, not T. I'm just busting you, Carol. But that's a really sad tragedy. I don't know how. I don't know. I guess they have to rebuild it. I mean, and that's a big port. That's a very big port. A very busy port that happened in, and at least the loss of life was not that much. I mean, that happened 1:30 in the evening, and God forbid that it happened at 7, 8 o'clock in the morning when there's so many hundreds of cars on that bridge that would have went down in the water. And so, I mean, loss of life is never a good thing. And can I say at least the tragedies were kept low. Good morning, Gianni. How are you? Good to see you guys. The second thing I want to cover is the Mega Millions in New Jersey that went off last night. I won $4. I won $4 off the Mega Million. I went in, I bought a ticket, I bought a quick pick, and yesterday was it yesterday? Yeah, yesterday I went in and I put the ticket under the thing that registers it, and it said winner. And I got a little excited. It said winner $4. Go see the clerk. So I won $4 off the Mega Million. But somebody from Jersey, New Jersey, in Jersey City, hit it by himself or herself. And it's a nice thing that somebody hit it from New Jersey, because usually, it's out of state. Yeah, I won $4, Johnny. I got a little excited. I played the quick pick. I played a quick pick on it, and I put it under the machine. With the red light, the red infrared light, and it said winner. And like my mouth opened up, and then it said $4. Collect from the clerk. Go see the clerk. So I won $4. Hey, actually, I won $2 because it was $2 to play the ticket. So I won $2. Hey, listen, I won, at least I won, right? So some lucky happy person this morning in Jersey City, New Jersey, is a billionaire. Now I want to get your you guys' opinion. Now, a lot of you guys know that I do catering, and I go to a lot of homes, and I go to a lot of corporate offices. But I went into a house last week. I went to a house that was having their food catered, and I'm a big animal lover. I love dogs. I would never hurt an animal or a dog. And I have this big tray of sausage and peppers in my hand, and the woman opens up the door, and there's a German Shepherd in back of her that's being held, I guess, by her daughter. And the dog was barking, and the dog broke loose and jumped on me and bit me in the groin. Now, thank God, the dog did not go through my pants, and I wasn't marked. But I kicked the dog in the face to get the dog off of me, and the woman got mad. and she called my boss, and she told my boss that I kicked her dog. But she forgot to tell my boss that the dog bit me in the groin. Now, believe me, I felt terrible about kicking the dog, but you see this big German Shepherd come running after you, and he bites you in the groin, and you can't control him. What do you think I was going to do? Just stand there? Plus, I have a tray of food in my hand. So my boss said, Ralph, don't worry about it. I said to him, I said, look, the dog bit me. What was I supposed to do? And I go almost every home that I go to that has their food catered has a dog. And, this is the first time this has ever happened. But, I'm not going to stand there with this big German Shepherd. So, I mean, nothing happened to me. I mean, but my boss said, well, you do what you had to do. He says, you're not wrong. Now, me, if I hit that, if I was if I was one person that hit that money, in the mega yesterday, I would have built a dog shelter. I would have bought a couple acres of land, had it fenced in, and I would have had a dog shelter built or an animal shelter built where the animals could roam around freely on a couple of acres of land. That's one of the things that I would do because I'm a big animal lover, and I tell you, I really felt bad kicking the dog in the face, but what was I supposed to do? That never happened to me, and I've been to many homes with many dogs. Hello, Angela. How are you, hon? Good to see you. So that's the first time that's ever happened to me. And the lady, she wasn't very nice about it. And you know what? The funny thing about it is, I didn't drop the tray of food. I didn't drop the tray of food. I had this big tray of sausage and peppers. And you kicked my dog. I said, well, lady, I kicked your dog. Your dog bit me in the groin. What was I supposed to do? You can't control a dog? Some people are just jerks. So I didn't get in any trouble. My boss said, listen, Ralph, you did the right thing, you know, and that was that, you know. So that was my experience. And, it's funny because every home that I go to, as soon as they open up the door, I get hit with a blast of weed. Every home that I go into, as soon as they open the door, I get hit with this blast of weed. And I cannot stand the smell of weed because it doesn't smell anything like it did back in the day. It's very strong, and we're right down the street from the high school, and these kids come in at lunchtime, and they reek of weed. It's so strong. I can't stand it. Johnny, he wanted to play with the two balls. I'm lucky, man. Oh my God, if he bit me there, I would be ruined for life. I would be ruined for life if I got bit there. I would be a lawsuit. Dog bites me in the nuggets. Okay, Angela, if your alarm's going crazy, you could come back, or you could always listen to the replay. So that was my experience last week for the first time. And like I said, every house that I go to is my God. I mean, now that it's legal and everything, I get hit with a blast of weed. Oh God. Now I'm going to be honest with you, and this is the truth. I haven't smoked a joint since 1973. That's the last time I smoked a joint, and I will not touch. I don't even know if I'm capable of smoking weed now. Who knows what it would do to me? But that's the last time I smoked weed, and the weed today is. Hold on a second. I'm on the main road here. Oh, there goes the 74 bus just passing 74. The weed today is much, much different from the weed back in the day. Different smell. This is just a strong, strong smell. And you get it on your clothes. It's worse. It's worse than cigarette smoke. And like I said, we got the high school right down the street. These kids come in at lunchtime and they reek. They reek of this stuff. But what are you going to do? It's legal now, so it's here to stay, and it's not going anywhere. And even in my apartment complex, I mean, once in a while, some of the young guys, the guys that are in their 30s, they'll be smoking. You could smell it in the courtyard. Yeah, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it's treated with, but it's just a pungent smell, And it's the funny thing too, because I was in the catering truck and there was like a car in front of me, and the windows were closed, right? And this guy must have been smoking weed because I smelt it in the car in front of me with his windows closed. Oh, and that's one thing I want to mention. One thing very important that I want to mention about this disaster on the bridge. Keep this in mind. From now on, when you go over a bridge, make sure your car windows are open, because God forbid, if anything should happen and I know this is horrible, you plunge into the water. If your car windows are closed, the pressure of the water, you cannot open up your car door, number one, and you cannot lower your windows down. So keep this in mind. Somebody had mentioned that yesterday on one of the live YouTube shows that were covering the disaster. I mean, if you remember, who remembers to go over a bridge and lower their windows, right? Is that Patty? Hello, Patty. How are you, hon? Good to see you. You asked me a question, Patty, and I'll just answer it this way. I saw the question that you asked me, and the answer is yes. And all I'll say is I did run into that individual in Shoprite on Monday because, of course, we're in the same town. So I did run into that person on Monday at the Shoprite. It just so happens that we were shopping at the Shoprite at the same time because we're in the same town. But I did go into there last night to say hello to a few people, and then a few people said hello to me, but I wasn't acknowledged. So what are you gonna do? But it's good to see you. Good to see you. So that's something that I wanted to mention about the windows, and something that I heard. But like I said, that's what I would do if I won all that money. I would definitely, without a doubt, buy a couple acres of land, have it fenced off, and I'd have uh, an animal shelter built because I love dogs. I love animals. I love dogs. I would like to get one, and I'm allowed to have them where I'm at, but it's just not. I don't have a house anymore. I don't think it's fair to the animal to keep him in an apartment all day long by himself. I mean, I can get two dogs, but I just don't think that it's. I can't afford two dogs. I can't even afford one. But it's not fair to the animal to be home all alone all day because I work late. It's hi Edwin, how are you, buddy? Good to see you. Good morning to you. Blessings to you. So it's not fair to the animal, and plus the fact that I lost three dogs, and the last dog that I lost, which was a couple of years ago, I mean, it really, really killed me. This dog was with me every single day, you know, every single day in my office downstairs in my house. I had a couch. He came downstairs in my office and stayed on the couch. He slept in bed with me. He went everywhere with me, and it was just very, very difficult when I lost a dog. And I lost three dogs, and they were all heartbreakers. And I don't want to go through that again because they're like family. They're like kids. And when you're with a dog every day, uh, you know, and then they're not there anymore, it's a big loss. They give you unconditional love. They love you no matter what. So it's tough. You know, I don't want to keep the dog home alone all day. Yeah, Patty, you're right. Hmm. Edwin, I've been listening to your shows. You know that obviously I was on your panels. You got some good shows, positivity, Edwin. That's what we need. More of positivity. I mentioned this yesterday on my show. Positivity, more positivity on YouTube because what's happening in the world, you know, uh, there's enough stuff happening off of YouTube that you have to go onto YouTube and go into these shows that are chaotic, you know. So keep doing what you're doing, Edwin. All right, hold on a second. Let me read what Gianni's saying. Hold on a second. I'm just reading what Gianni's saying. My eldest son just got a pit bull. Mm. You know what? Let me tell you something. And Patty, I was the same way. I didn't care for pit bulls a couple of years ago, but believe it or not, they make very good pets. You know, I know they got a bad rap, and the bad rap that they have is because of the people that own them that make them vicious. But they're very, very sweet animals. So I felt the same way that you do, and I got to like them. I got to like them. You know, they're only vicious because of what people do to them. You know, and you know, I have to say that all the dogs that I've gotten, I've obtained, I've gotten them from shelters, and they were all a little bit bigger. So it just happens to be what the owners put them through. I know I didn't trust them either, Patty. I didn't, to be honest with you, I didn't trust them either. I was afraid of them, afraid to pet them, and then little by little, you know, I saw that they were actually sweet pets. I mean, uh, you just don't go up to a dog that's on the street and start petting him. You don't know. I mean, you know, that you don't do. You pay the dog, not the owner. It really isn't, Patty. But you know, that's your opinion. I mean, you know, I believe that it's the owner that makes the dog vicious. You know, these pit bull fights and all that. You have to train the dog, so you're actually training the dog and teaching the dog to be vicious. You want to know something? I looked into getting a because I'd like to get a golden retriever because I love those dogs. And I don't know, months ago I looked into it, and for a puppy, I called the place, and they wanted $6,000. They wanted $6,000 for a golden retriever puppy, and that includes the shots and 2 years of warranty. And I said, warranty? I says, what is the dog, a car? A warranty? Warranty for what? Then nothing will happen to the dog, and it includes toys and everything. I said, $6,000? Are you crazy? I said that's you could buy a used car for that price. So now I work with a girl who does dog training, and I asked her. I says, as a matter of fact, I asked her last night. I said, "There, Brees." I said, "Do you ever come across any baby puppy retrievers?" She said, "No, Ralph." She said, "Good luck finding them, and you're going to pay a lot of money for a full bred." And I said, "Well, how much?" She goes, "About 4,000." I said, "What?" I said, "I was quoted 6,000." She goes, "No, they're going to be about 4,000." So I said, "Forget about that." Yeah, retrievers shed like crazy. So do huskies. Huskies are another breed that shed like oh my like crazy. It's like they shed, and you know what do you call those things that oh, tumbleweeds. It's like it's like the wild in the west, the tumbleweeds that go, you know, rolling across the plains. Their hair goes rolling across the house. You know, especially if you have a wood floor, a wooden floor, and that rug. They do shed like crazy. They do. No matter what you do. The last dog that I had was a Goldador. It was half golden retriever and half Labrador. and he shed like crazy. No matter how many times I brushed him, uh, hair always came out. You know, so that's one of the things that you have to put up with. But retrievers they make good dogs, they make good pets, and huskies are a good dog too. But they're beautiful. But to have a dog's expensive too. It's not cheap. Yeah, pure breeds are ridiculous expensive. Everything is expensive. Everything. As a matter of fact, speaking of expensive, I'm in the restaurant yesterday and I see one of the girls. She's doing something with the menus, and I looked at her and I said, "You're doing a price increase, aren't you?" She said, "Yeah." So we're increasing our prices again in the restaurant. I said, "It's never going to end." Because with us, if the distributor, the food that we get, John, you can relate this. If the distributor that we get our food from, the vegetables and all that stuff, is raising the prices on us, of course we have to in turn raise the price to the consumer. But we just had a price increase 2 months ago. I said to her, Angie, I said, we just had a price increase 2 months ago. She goes, I know, but that's what he wants. So it's you can't even go out to eat. It's so expensive. A dish of capellini with like 6 clams cost me like $35. Capellini. What does a pound of capellini cost? $1.50, right? What does 6 clams cost? I don't know. Maybe I'm going to say $7, $8. Maybe I'm taking a guess. It's crazy. I need a part-time job just to take a, just to take a girl out. I really do. Now Sunday was the first time I went out in 2 months, and I went to go sing. And don't you know that the sound system? It was the first time in 2 months I went out. I haven't been out in 2 months. I've been finding that Saturday night, staying home on the couch, I don't know why, was just something that I did for 2 months. So I went out for the first time Sunday night in 2 months, right? I was going to sing a couple of songs. I go to the place, which is a neighborhood place here in Belleville, because I'm in Belleville right now. And don't you know that the sound system that the girl had, the DJ, was horrible. So I didn't end up singing. I ended up getting a beer, and I didn't know anybody in the place, which was unusual. I had the beer, and I ended up walking out. So you have to, Patty. You have to cut that. That's There's nothing wrong with that. The early bird special. You have to. I said this yesterday on my show. You have to cut corners. As nobody likes to cut corners. Let's face it. But you have to try to cut corners as much as you can. You know, to get your electric bill down, to get your cable bill down, um, food. It's a tough thing to do. I said yesterday. Every time I go to Shoprite, the products that I buy every single month that are staple items that I buy every month, every time I go to ShopRite, the prices are increased. And I said this yesterday, is that with all the rising prices, right, on everything, our pay is the same. It's nothing. Our pay does not offset the cost in the rising prices because our pay is the same. So the only way to get around that is to cut corners or to get a part-time job. And who wants to get a part-time job, really? Especially if you have a family. I said this yesterday. Especially if you have a family, and you got kids. You know what I'm saying? You want to spend the time with your family. It's ridiculous. A lot of people, a lot of people are suffering. It's tough to make ends meet. A lot of senior citizens are on budgets. A lot of people are on budgets. And again, I, I'm this way. I do not like to cut corners because I don't like to be forced into doing something that I don't want to do. I mean, that's the way I am. But a single guy, I said this yesterday, which usually would cost me $125 a month for food because I go shopping for the month, is now I'm up to like close to $300 for a single guy. And I don't eat much. Is Michael here? Is Michael Mormile here? Edwin? I don't see him. I don't see him, Edwin. Edwin is saying hello to Michael, but I don't. Let me see something. Hold on a second. Is he here? What's up, Gary? How are you, buddy? Oh, hi, Michael. How are you? Good to see you. Greenfield puppies, Ralph, 4 to 800 golden retriever puppies. Oh, in PA. Okay, I'll look into that. Thank you. That's a lot cheaper than $6,000 and $4,000. You're right, Carol. I just said that. I just said that. See, when I go food shopping, I go for the month because I like to get it over with, and then maybe once in a while during the month, if I run out of milk or something, I'll go for a few loose items. But I like to get it over with. But every time I go to ShopRite, and I won't go to Stop and Shop, which is here in Jersey. I don't know if you guys have it where you are. Stop and Shop is very expensive, but they carry items that ShopRite doesn't carry, but they're expensive. Single guy. I mean, yeah, Carol, you're right. Coconut prices are crazy. Are crazy. Absolutely crazy. Everything. It's a shame. It really is. I really feel bad for the seniors that are on a budget. I really feel bad for them trying to make ends meet. Hold on a second, guys. I don't. Wow, 5K, Johnny. I don't know what kind of dog that is. I have to look that up. That's a lot of money. Hey, down there. How are you, buddy? Good morning to you. Puppy mills. Yeah, I've heard puppy mills have a bad rap. I know they have a bad rap. But if I'm going to get a dog, see, like I said before, most of my dogs I got from a shelter. If I want to get a purebred, it's going to cost me money. You know? And I want it as a puppy. I want it as a puppy. But like I said, it's not fair to the dog to keep the dog home in an apartment all by itself. And the only way to get around that really is to get two dogs, and I can't do that. And then don't forget, you got to walk the dog too. A dog's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. And then if I go away, I got to put the dog in a like a doggy hotel, and that's expensive too. And then you got to get insurance in case the dog gets sick. Ugh, it's just like having a kid. So, all right, guys, that's about it. I think for this show. Yeah, probably would be Patty. I probably would be. See, I don't have to be at work till 11 o'clock. I get out at 8:30. By the time I get home, it's like quarter to nine. Then the dog's been inside all day. Hold on a second. A lot of action today on this avenue here on Franklin Avenue. Then I'd have to come home and I'd have to walk the dog because the dog's been inside all day. Or I could get somebody. I could pay somebody. And that's another expense. Pay somebody to go into the house and walk the dog and take care of the dog because there are people that do that. So these are all added expenses. And when I had how many cats did I have? I know cats are great. I love cats too. I had, let's see, four cats, four cats, and they're a lot easier to take care of a dog. That's for sure. I'm a big animal lover. I am. I'm a big animal lover. I don't like dog abuse. Don't let me catch somebody abusing a dog or an animal. Um, on Facebook, people post these things about dog abuse. Like, it's ridiculous. Who wants to see that? We know that animals get abused. We don't have to become aware of that. Joe Dell, how are you, buddy? Good to see you. Thank you for stopping in. All right, guys, I'm going to end this. Thank you all for joining me. I really appreciate it. All have a great day today. Here in Northern Jersey, it's kind of gloomy, and I think it's going to be raining here the next couple of days. But that's the way it is. Enjoy yourself on this Easter weekend. I'll see you guys all soon. You too, Edwin. You stay safe. Everybody stay safe. Have a great day. Take care. Bye bye, guys.